Hello, and welcome to Board and Baked. Tell them hello, Sam.
Hello, Sam.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's a choice.
Yeah. So, this set of hands, I am Sam.
This set of hands, I'm Ryan. We will be your host every week for the little thing we're trying to do called Board and Baked, where we sit down, play a board game, sometimes just us, sometimes with friends, family, and acquaintances, people that we think are pretty cool. And we invite you into our home to hang out, and yeah, not all of them will be cool. Some of them will actually probably suck, but we'll have them on because they're available.
Yeah, I think that's the main criteria that we're looking for.
But we'd like you to sit down with us, join us in our home, and play a board game, and hopefully enjoy some of our friends and family as much as we do.
To that end, this is episode 0 of Board and Baked. The idea behind this is twofold. One, this is our first time really recording something, so it will get better, we promise. Secondly, for the episode 0 of what will be season 1, we're going to take some time to explain the setup and the rules of the game that we'll be playing for season 1. And this season, the game that we're playing is Machi Koro, Bright Lights Big City from IDW Games. It's designed to be played by 2 to 5 players for ages 10 and up.
Although this vodcast is not ages 10 and up. We'll probably curse a lot and talk about...
Yeah, I feel like we're at least PG-13.
Yeah, like we'll probably talk about a lot of things you don't want your children hearing. So
Yeah.
While the game is 10 and up, this video recording is not. Like,
No,
it is probably preferably like 16 and up, or
I'm fine with like a TVMA rating.
I feel like I listened to Loveline at 13, so like this isn't going to permanently scar any children, but like I would feel better.
Well, and there is
also
side
of older.
There's also a kind of drug positive message behind.
Yeah,
the game.
and not everyone we play with will smoke. We are not
True.
like the sketchy characters in an old Dare video.
Hey kid, you want to do a drug?
Yeah. Gee, Mister, I don't know. We don't ever push it on anyone. We just want this is our free time. We like to play board games and get baked, and we sometimes share that with people who don't necessarily imbibe.
Yeah. And with any luck,
snacks.
It will all be fun for you. So, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the session 0 and explain the game.
I think that sounds like a good idea, Sam. So I guess we're going to start with board setup. Well, I don't guess. I know damn well
right.
we are going to start with board setup.
We've done some of the heavy lifting already. We've got 3 decks of cards. We've got the bank set up, more or less where that's going to go. This is not determined by the rules. The bank can go wherever you want. We've just found that centrally located is the best way to set it up. And then we've also got some dice, which we'll get back to in a minute. The 3 decks of cards are going to give you some information on their backs. You've got cards that are activated by a dice roll of 6 or less. Then you've got cards that are activated by a dice roll of
6 or higher,
7 or more. 6 or less,
oh,
7 or more.
Sorry.
And then you've got your major establishment cards, which are in the middle here, the smaller deck, and we'll kind of get into them a little bit more later. The next step is setting up the marketplace, where we are going to be drawing cards from the top of the deck and setting up 5 unique piles. In the event of a double of the same card, it's just going to get stacked right on top. And Ryan, if you want to set up the lower level, we can
that would be
sort of zip through this, I think.
My pleasure, Samuel.
And you'll notice that as the cards are coming out, each one has a different color and has some information on the tops and the middle of it. We'll get into all of that in a minute. Okay. So, we've got 5 unique stacks of cards on the 6 or less, and 5 unique stacks of cards on the 7 or more portions of the marketplace. You'll notice that the major establishments part of the marketplace only gets 2 cards. They're very, very powerful cards, and that's why they don't want a whole lot of them out in the market, in the world. Now that we've set up the board,
let's take a second and set up our player.
Let's do that, yes. So, each player starts out with 3 cards that have these little S's on the back of them. Those are your starting cards. Among those, you'll find 1 wheat field business, 1 bakery business, and 1 city hall landmark. Everybody starts out with this landmark open. The rest of the cards that you start out with are your other landmark cards. Each one of those landmark cards is going to have a face down under construction side and a face up active side, which is colorful. Each of those landmarks will provide you with special abilities, bonuses, and minor changes to the rules, which we will... Yes, sir.
The landmarks are also important because, opening all of your landmarks is how you win the game.
Well, right, and you are the mayor of this town trying to open all of your landmarks first to reach cityhood.
Yeah, well, we are all mayors of our own Machi Koro, bright-lighted, big-citied.
Yes.
And we want to see the other players' city reclaimed by nature because we reached cityhood first and drove them out of the market.
Right, yeah, it's sort of a race to see who's the best at capitalism.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good way to synopsize it.
So,
is that a word?
Yeah, synopsize, that's totally a word.
Go me.
Yeah. So, we each also start with a kitty cat who runs through frame. We each also start with 3 coins. The coins in the bank come in 1, 5, and 10 denominations.
This will happen while we're playing every week, so just get used to it.
It's just there's cats. That's what's a world without fun little furry friends.
I mean, we have 4 cats. It's hard to stop.
So the individual cards that we start out with are a good way to get into. Do you want to go with dice order or like roll order?
Yeah, I think let's explain like rolling and order play presumes in and what the cards kind of do and
yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Way to recover from that pothole because Piggy really just
yeah. That's one of the other downsides to our chosen format is that we are getting baked. We are already a little baked. So
you sometimes hit the pothole.
Yeah, we'll deviate.
Yeah.
So we're going to... there's no determined rule for seeing who goes first. What we've decided that we like to do is have a roll-off to see... And with a 1, I'm not going to go first. That's how we like to see who goes first. You can decide it however you want. Famously with, Cards Against Humanity, it's whoever pooped last.
With Forbidden Island, it's whoever visited an island last.
Yeah, it's any dynamic you want to use. House rule that.
Yeah.
That's fine. So once we've gotten our board set up, you're wondering what all these cards do. You start out each player rolling 1 of the dice that the game comes with. Your hope is to initially land on the numbers matching with properties that are owned. As the game proceeds, some players may own, for instance, a restaurant card. Restaurant cards are activated in turn order first. They are cards that when your opponent rolls them, they must pay you the specified amount on the card. Next in turn order, you have the green cards, which are your actual business cards. Shops, I think, is the term used in the game.
Shops, and everyone starts with one green card.
Those cards are activated when you roll them and you get income from the bank. Then you've got, in, again, order of resolution, blue cards. These are natural resources of some sort generally. These cards are activated when anybody rolls them and everybody gets coins from the bank. And then last but not least, in the order of resolution, you have purple cards. Now these purple cards, these major establishment cards, are activated when you roll them, but unlike other cards that are activated when you roll them, you get money from all of the other players. In a multiplayer game, super, super powerful cards. In a two-player game, some of these are game changers.
Yeah, one of the major establishments allows you to trade cards with someone, so you can take their best card and give them your worst. They're very powerful cards, which is also why they're the most expensive things in the marketplace. Purchasing in the marketplace is denoted by this little coin down in the corner. So that would be 5 coins. And every player starts with 3 coins from the bank, which I believe Sam might have touched on, but if not, I'm telling you now. You're welcome.
So, speaking of cards with powers, let's get back to the landmark cards. The landmark cards, as the game progresses, and you open each of these landmark cards, which, like the other cards, have a cost associated with their bottom, at the bottom. Once you've paid that cost into the bank, you can turn them over, and you'll get the benefits of each of those cards. Like I said, we start out with the City Hall card. Now, City Hall means that everybody starts out with this same power. Immediately before buying establishments, if you have 0 coins, get 1 from the bank. Basically, it means that no matter what, you're going to get at least 1 coin of income every single turn, which is kind of cool. It's a neat safety net feature that I like about this game.
Even though it's a very capitalist game, it's a nice socialist little idea.
And you can't accrue debt. Once you're broke, you're broke. There's some neat stuff here. Ideologically speaking, I think. So the next most expensive of your landmark cards is your Harbor card. This is the card that allows you to, if the dice total is 10 or more, you may add 2 to the total on your turn only. Now I know what you're saying to yourself, Sam, I know you're high, but didn't you say that we all start out rolling 1 die? How could I have a dice total of 10 or more? And then, viewer, I would say to you, your train station card. Once you open up your train station landmark, you may roll 1 or 2 dice. So, now your ability to get 10 or more is realized. Then you've got a couple of neat features with your shopping mall. Each of your restaurant and shop establishments earn +1 coin.
So red cards.
Red cards.
And green cards.
And green cards. Your restaurant cards, if it says you gain 1 coin from the person that rolled that number, you now gain 2. If your bakery says you gain 1 coin for rolling a 2 or a 3, you now gain 2. Very powerful card for increasing your income. Neat dynamic.
If you
changer.
get it open early, it's a huge boon.
At only 10 coins, I think it's a nice reach for an early move.
Yeah, it's a steal for a good bonus.
Yeah. Now, next in the order of cost, you have your amusement park. If you roll doubles, take another turn after this one. That is a full turn. You get your entire income and purchasing phase, and then you get to roll again and take another full turn. I think that's something that when we first started playing was really easy to overlook, and it really makes that a strong card too in its own right. Now here's everybody's favorite card, at least among our group of players.
Regular players.
The Moon Tower card. You may roll 3 dice on your turn. If you do, remove 1 of the dice after rolling and only count the remaining 2. So that's where that 3rd die comes in. And if I have rolled, for instance, 1, 4, 1, I could take the 2, and maybe I've got my amusement park open, or I could take the 5 and maybe I've got something that lets me get a lot of income on a 5, it lets you do whatever you want. It really, this is a card that helps you really put away the game, but it's also pretty expensive. And then last but not least, and often the card that wins the game and the most expensive card to open as a landmark, your airport. If you build nothing on your turn, you get 10 coins from the bank. That means that you still have to roll, you still have to possibly pay out and get income, but if you opt not to build anything, it's just free money for having your airport open. Very rarely, although once or twice I've seen somebody open this and it wasn't the last card.
Yeah, no, that has happened. I was about to say, I've never personally gotten to use its actual power. Yeah, right. I'm not sure if power is the right word. Ability.
Benefit.
Yeah, benefit, I think, actually, is probably more fitting. I've never actually gotten to use the benefit of gaining 10 coins for building nothing. But I have seen, amongst us playing this with our friends, my wife a lot.
Yeah.
She plays it with us a lot. I've seen people open it and it wasn't the last card, like they just happened to be flush with coins, and so that's always kind of interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So that, I think,
we are like one step away from being Magic the Gathering commentary when we talk about like our game theory on this, because we have obsessively played a game that I think very few people but us are excited about.
Well, and I think that this is one of the things that's going to really differentiate Board and Baked, is that you're going to get to see, over the course of a season, nuanced play and really learn a game that, maybe you're interested in the game itself, maybe you just love our sweet banter, or maybe you're looking to destroy your friends with a board game that they've never played. Because
that would be a cruel but, I guess somewhat rewarding trick to just be like, I swear I've never played this. Like, opening it up in front of them, and then you're just, laying waste to them because you watched 10 to 15 episodes of, a bunch of nerds obsessively playing this game every week.
Now, speaking of obsessively playing, let's do a little bit of advanced stuff with some of the stuff that's on the board and explain neat dynamics that occur in this game. For instance, in the marketplace, you'll notice that there are a flower shop and flower orchard pile. These are what I'd call symbiotic cards. The flower shop gets 1 coin from the bank for each flower orchard you own on your turn only. That means that if you have a flower shop but no flower orchards, it doesn't actually get you any income. So it's a really important dynamic with the flower orchard, flower shop, the forest furniture factory, the ranch, and the cheese factory.
It also probably makes the fruit and vegetable market one of the highest reward. You only get a payout on 11 or 12, but the flower orchard, the wheat field, the apple orchard all count towards the payout from the fruit and vegetable market.
Right.
And it only costs 2 coins, whereas the furniture factory, I believe, is 5.
Furniture factory is 3, cheese factory is 5.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, we've played a lot.
Soda bottling plant also
5.
Yeah. The soda bottling plant pays out if you roll, I think it's an 11, you get 1 coin for every restaurant that's out on the board.
Now, another neat symbiotic thing is your harbor. You'll notice we've got a tuna boat out. Fun thing about the tuna boat is that the tuna boat, the mackerel boat, and the sushi bar all require you to have your harbor open in order for them to work. Basically, if you can't get to the water, how can you have boats? So that's a thing that, again, we've had a lot of instances where we've overlooked whether or not maybe somebody had a demolition company and had to close their harbor.
Yeah.
One of my other absolute favorite symbiotic things is the French restaurant. The French restaurant is a card that, in order for it to work, requires you to have at least 2 of your landmarks open. Okay, so if Ryan, for instance, had the French restaurant and I rolled a 5 and I had to pay him, if I don't have anything open,
except for your city hall, which starts over
which
there.
Everybody has open, and you can't close, actually. if I don't have anything else open, I don't have to pay him anything. As soon as I open something up, I gotta pay him now.
Yeah.
So, like, as the game progresses and as your city or your proto-city is developing, you're going to want to keep an eye on the special relationships between different cards.
On that note, actually, there's an interesting fact that okay, there's a stadium out. If I bought a stadium and let's say the next turn another stadium immediately came out and Sam bought a stadium, now we both own a stadium, we're the only two people playing right now. If a third stadium came out to replace that, it actually then gets discarded back into like a discard pile out of the game because no one else can own a stadium,
right.
And they don't want it just taking up a dead spot on the board.
Yeah, the way that major establishment cards work, and this is a sort of a tag-along, is they are the only cards in the game that you can only own one of. And that's not to say you can only own one major establishment card, but if I have a stadium, I can't buy another stadium. If I have a stadium, that's it. That's all the stadiums I can own.
Whereas you can buy as many wheat fields, flower orchards, flower shops,
shower ops,
shower flops, fruit and vegetable market, apple orchard, anything that's on the board you can buy multiples of to hope to generate more income on a roll. Except for these, you can only own a unique one of each of these. So you can have multiple, like you said, multiple major establishments, but you can't have multiple of the same.
And I believe that the only other thing to cover is direction of play and pay.
You start your turn by rolling a dice, then you go into your purchasing phase, you use your money to purchase your cards.
Play proceeds clockwise.
Play proceeds clockwise. Now payment proceeds counterclockwise.
Or anti-clockwise if you're in Europe.
Okay, anti-clockwise. And you pay the first person counterclockwise to you, and then like whatever's left to the following person, like, you know, as you run out of money, you know, like...
Now, in this instance, there's only the two of us, but if, for instance, in episode 1 we have 3 or 4 players, it becomes an important thing to keep in mind that everybody that owns a cafe needs to get paid when I roll a 3. So I'm paying Ryan, then I'm paying Empty Chair, then I'm paying Empty Chair. And maybe I run out of money with Ryan. Empty Chair and Empty Chair, they get nothing. Maybe I've got enough for Ryan and Empty Chair. Well, then Empty Chair gets nothing.
I wish we had another Empty Chair next to Empty Chair, because...
Well, it's the emptiest of chairs.
Yeah, it's a nothing chair.
Yeah, it's the chair that isn't there. So that's one of the other things to kind of keep in mind that's easy to overlook if you're sitting down to play this for yourself. And if you are sitting down to play this for yourself, let us know. I think that we're going to be very open to and welcoming of feedback. And if you have a game to suggest that you'd like to see us cover in the future, go ahead and, comment.
Well, I mean, I think we were both looking forward to playing some variant of Munchkin for the second season, but, like... I'm totally open to suggestions for, like, I would ideally actually like to do a poll.
I'm not saying we're going to do it, I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I can't make any promises.
Just suggest.
Yeah, make suggestions, absolutely.
Yeah, the illusion of democracy.
Well, my eventual goal is to do, like, a poll, you know, to, like, that way, like, if we get enough suggestions for one game, or, like, certain games, we could, like, you know, like, do a poll of, like, these were the 3 most popular games suggested, and then we'll do a poll to see which one we'll do for a season.
Yeah.
Because we always like trying new games. We always want to keep playing stuff we have played. We're picking that for the first season because it's easier to guide our guests through, because we know it very intricately.
Plus,
we spend a lot of time smoking weed and playing this game already.
Well, plus, I think that there is legitimate value to you, the viewer, if you want to see a game that allows you to enjoy the nuance of the game, really pick up on different ways to play, different scenarios.
Different stratagem from different people.
Yeah, this isn't chess, but I think the great thing about a board game in general is that you can sit down to play, and it's always a new and fun experience. You're never going to have the same game.
You're putting a little bit in the hands of chance, and you're also watching how different people approach problems differently, which is always a good thing to learn.
Yeah. And with that, I don't think we've got a proper sign-off. Again, this is a first effort, and it will get better, I believe.
Well, I imagine after we've done a season of recordings,
because this is like episode 00.
Recording season. Yeah, exactly. This is, but not 00 cool like 007. It's just two fat goose eggs of 2 zeros not being heroes.
But with far less really okay sexual harassment. I think everybody overlooks that in James Bond, but he's
terrible
kind
of pushy and just terrible in general.
Well, yeah.
I've never wanted to see someone get their nuts hit with a knotted rope so much in my life.
That's a weird way to go with that, but okay.
It's the thing that really stood out to me about.
Is that what you think about when you think about Sean Connery?
No, when I think about Casino Royale. The
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Daniel Craig, just with his face everywhere, being all Daniel Craigy about it.
Anyway, this is our first recording.
Look, and I like Skyfall. I just don't think he's a great Bond.
Spectre was alright.
I liked Money House.
Money House?
Or Money Pit.
Money.
I guess I realize I'm probably Peter Griffining right now, where I'm like, I like Pierce Brosnan, and people are like, you're an idiot. You're mad. You're mad, Ryan.
So, I think that's the important thing is it will get better.
Yeah, this is just a brief tutorial. This is not indicative of what the actual season will be like, and like I said, hang in there, because if you are bored of this game, hopefully the banter will keep you interested. But if not, I keep saying banter. That just sounds gross.
To take a page out of Dan Harmon's book, how do you know when you're finished?
Cute. But we will be playing other games for season 2 and 3, and we're just gonna keep doing this until you love us.
I don't need love.
Yeah. We're just gonna keep doing this because.
Well, because honestly, this makes it feel slightly more insane, which I'm into.
Yeah, it's just we'd either be sitting around doing this and smoking weed anyway. So
I'd rather talk to an imaginary person.
Yeah, that's.
Do you think it's just one person that we're talking to, or a group of people sitting around watching together?
You know what I never got?
What's that?
Is Foster one of the people, or are they do they just own the building?
Are you talking about Foster's Home for Imaginary Animals?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch enough of that, but whenever I'd see it, it'd make me happy.
Weird question.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying you have a weird question.
No, I don't think I have anything that could. I'm too high to deal with your foster question.
Have you ever known a foster child?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
This specific foster child?
Well, yeah, that specific one. I'm not gonna use names, but he was. Well, maybe he was just adopted. Maybe he wasn't a foster. Anyway, he stabbed his sibling in the ear with a paintbrush.
What did I do?
I don't know. You should have hit pause a while ago.
It took a really dark turn.
You asked.
We've just excluded foster people as having any semblance of normality.
No. I feel like foster people. Really actually, no. I know somebody who did.
Don't try and turn this on its ear.
It's stabbing in the ear.
Let's see what I did there for you.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah, so I guess we should probably sign off.
Yes.
And say thank you very much for sticking through to watch the following episodes.
I don't want to.
Season 1, Episode 1. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye.